Welcome back to Forecasting with Friends. Let's talk about some weather that has been on the crazy side recently, and let's compare it to what we had around this time last year. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Remeisha Shade, and we're going to discuss this big-time winter storm that we've had recently and how it compares to some of our coldest days and our snow event from last year. Of course, we are into 2025 now, but back on January 15th to January 17th in 2024, we did experience some pretty chilly air. Arctic blasts rolled in, and we even had a little bit of snowfall. So let's talk about it. We had 3 very chilly days. In fact, on January 15th, we had a high of only 33 degrees, only 1 degree above that freezing mark, and we made it all the way down into the middle 20s, so close to a hard freeze. That's the day we also had a trace of snowfall. So of course, a trace is a teeny tiny amount. That amounts to a light dusting. It's enough to see, but it's not even enough to call a half inch or an inch. So a little bit of snowfall, just enough to measure on January 15th of 2024. Now, January 16th, we were still in the deep freeze, high of only 34 and a low of 18 degrees. That ended up being our coldest temperature of 2024 for the Houston area. January 17th of 2024, we had a high of 45, so still very cold, and a low of 20. So we had a hard freeze 2 nights in a row, but only a trace of snowfall. So now let's fast forward to 2025, January 2025, and talk about what happened with our most recent winter storm. Of course, we had the Arctic blast roll in first, then we had bands of heavy snow that set up across parts of Houston. You looked outside and you probably thought, man, it looks more like Detroit or Chicago or Philadelphia, but no, it was right here in H-Town. Some of you picking up several inches of snow, sleet at times. In fact, some of you got sleet for several hours before it kind of switched over to that heavier burst or two of snow. That wintry mix impacted almost the entire area, whether it was freezing rain, sleet, or snowfall. So this happened on January 20th, MLK Day, and January 21st, Tuesday. Now, January 22nd of this year, Houston Bush Intercontinental Airport fell to 20 degrees. So that was our coldest temperature recorded out at Bush Airport for this cold blast for this year. So that was the coldest air in a little over a year. Actually, that was the coldest since January 17th, 2024, which was our last major cold blast about a year ago. Now, snow totals from our January 2025 winter storm range from anywhere from a trace all the way up to 6 inches. That's a half of a foot of snow. That's crazy to think about that much snow here in the Houston area. It just doesn't happen that often. Now, did we set some historic, unprecedented all-time record? Well, the answer is no. This winter storm, as far as the snow totals, did not rival Houston's all-time snow record, which was back on February 14th, February 15th, 1895. So it was a long time ago, but we picked up, believe it or not, 20 inches of snowfall. So that is definitely well above what we experienced with this most recent winter storm. So let's talk about some of the snow totals and break this down because it was pretty impressive. We had that snow coming down. Likely sleet for many of you for Monday night. Then it kind of switched to snow late Monday into Tuesday. Most of that snow moved out by Tuesday afternoon. But between Monday night of January 20th and Tuesday morning, January 21st, 6 inches of snowfall reported in LaPorte, just south and east of Houston. So that was the big winner as far as the biggest snow report that we got in. But Baytown, you weren't that far behind. In fact, 5.5 inches out of the system. Dayton over into Liberty County, right at 5 inches for you, and Pearland an impressive 4 inches of snowfall. Houston Hobby Airport picking up 3 inches. So between the two big airports, Hobby Airport definitely won out over Bush Airport, only picking up around 1.2 inches. All right, Southeast Houston, as far as the Houston area, the Southeast Houston portion, picking up 4 inches. That was our biggest total coming out of Houston. But Richmond, 4 inches, Liberty, 3 inches, the Woodlands, right around 2.3 inches, and Galveston picking up almost 2 inches of snow. We really saw those heaviest snow bands kind of setting up shop right along Interstate 10 and just to the south and east of Houston. That's where we got some of that heaviest snow, east and southeast of Houston. So right over around West University Place, we got around 3.3 inches. Deer Park, around 3 inches. Bunker Hill Village, you picked up 2 inches, and the totals were a little bit lower the farther north that you went, but it was still around an inch up north towards College Station, and only a trace of snowfall reported for Huntsville. So like I said, anywhere from a trace up to about 6 inches of snow reported with this January 20th and January 21st Houston winter storm. So thank goodness it's over. Hopefully you enjoyed the snow while it was around, but we are now kind of transitioning out of that super cold, snowy, icy pattern. It looks like we're going to get to enjoy some warmer weather for a while. In fact, as we go into the first week of February, we're talking about temperatures above normal, not just for Houston, but all across the Gulf Coast. So if you're a snow lover, I hope you enjoyed that snow, because it looks like it might be a while before we get anything like that. We've been calling it a once in a generation, once in a lifetime snowfall, and that's likely what it will be. So hopefully you enjoyed it, but it does look like warmer days are ahead.